Hey everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. If you hang out until after the video is through, there are always detailed shots of my current layout. Let's get going! Hey everyone and welcome to another episode of Product Placement, my series with Kelly Oblak. Now if you're a constant watcher of me, my videos, not me personally, you might notice I'm in a different space. I'm actually at the crop I went to this past weekend, the last weekend in March. And what happened was I got really super busy and I wasn't able to get this done before I went on the crop. I actually had not planned on bringing any videoing equipment to the crop, and I realized I'm just not going to have time to do this. I'm going to have to do it at the crop. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. If not, I'll like get up early this morning. It's April 1st and do it today. I was able to video, and thank goodness, because if you couldn't tell from my voice, I actually have a bit of a cold. It's really exacerbated. I've got really bad allergies this time of year. So as I've been nattering on about, non-layout stuff, I will tell you this month we are working with branding strips. So I am working with Simple Stories Winter Wonderland line, and I'm one who stores my items by manufacturer line and then by collection. And so I usually keep all the ones that have branding strips with like pretty patterns on them until I work down the collection and I move it into just being stored by manufacturer. So I have all the branding strips that I had from this line. And basically, what I'm creating here is a branding strip large photo map. So I have all the branding strips, and on Simple Stories, they have both sides of the branding strip on. So the page that is on side A is the branding strip on side B, and vice versa. So what I did was I chose the side I liked the best of the two and trimmed off the 3/4 of a branding strip that is on for that side. And then I flipped it over. And if I liked the other side as well, I trimmed that in half so I would be able to stretch it across both sides of my photo. I am working with a one photo layout. I did want to tell this cute story about snuggling with Miss Xanthe here. And I only have the one photo because, I took that one photo and it turned out really cute. So as I was saying, I do have a small cold, so you might notice some pausing in the voiceover due to the fact that I have to clear my throat or cough, and I don't want to do that on the voiceover. So as I said, I was doing this at the crop, so I did end up filming a whole bunch of stuff. This wasn't particularly a very productive crop. I had a very good time. I had, wonderful friends. I got to meet some new people, and I did make quite a few layouts, so not just not like an amazing amount of layouts, and I'm totally okay with that. As I said, I had an awesome time, and that's really all that matters. So what I'm doing now is I am inking up my all of the branding strips with Gathered Twigs Distress ink. I like when I'm going to line up a bunch of branding strips, especially ones that are, even if they're from the same collection, they can look very different from each other. So by inking them up, not only does it define each of them individually, it also brings a common factor to all of the branding strips. So it works really well. So I'm just going through and doing all of these. And while I'm doing this, I normally would cut away from this, but I did want to go ahead and leave this in here because I want to leave myself time to say, Kelly and I have reached the point where we have gone through all of the embellishments we can think of to use in our product placement. To I was excited because my friend Deb gave me a new Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine. I love the look. I love the look of Color Shine in gold on dark wood grain like this. So we've reached the end, and we're going to start repeating ourselves. I believe Kelly has an idea for next month, and my friend Crystal wanted asked if we could do something else. So we have, I think, April and May we're gonna good to go. But if there's any embellishment you would like for us to revisit, please leave a comment in either my video or Kelly's video and let us know, because we are totally open for ideas, unless they are ribbon, and that is simply because I don't own any, or if they are sequins, and that's because both Kelly and I wanted to pull our hair out last time we did sequins. So we don't know if we'll do sequins again. Maybe. Very big maybe on that one. All right, so I've got all of my papers inked up, and now I'm just creating what works for me and looks. So basically, I'm trying to parse out the ones that are multiple colors in different areas, keep ones that are like a blue tone on tone, and then do a yellow tone on tone. Now, I've decided that what I have in branding strips is not large enough for what the look I'm going for. I did have these two very small scraps, and I'm going to ink both of those up. I think I'm going to use both of them at this point, but I believe once I get to the point where I'm laying things down, I decide I am not going to use that wood grain one that I'm inking up right now. So while I continue to work on this, I will say a couple of things. First, as I didn't get to do an introduction because I wasn't planning on videoing at the crop. I did not get a chance to say, please make sure you head on over to Kelly's channel and check out her take on using branding strips. I will post a link to her video in the description box below. And second of all, people always ask me, is it difficult to video at crops? No, it's not super difficult. I have a new setup. I have one of those new clippy, bendy phone cord thingies. I will actually link to that in the description box below in case there are any of you who are interested in that. I find I actually hook it to my tripod at my house, but what I did at the crop was I just hooked it to a little shelf I bought on Amazon, and I will link that below as well. And a lot of people didn't notice I was videoing, or they forgot I was videoing because it's very unobtrusive. So it's actually quite easy to do. The only problem is because I'm at a crop with other people, I end up chatting quite a bit. So I have to edit far more than I normally do in these videos than like the ones I'm filming at my house where there's no one to talk to. So obviously I'm not just randomly chatting to someone. So I did take some tissue paper, and this is the only tissue paper I've been using lately. I do have other tissue paper. I just really like this. It's white with a mini polka dot in gold foil. And when you use tissue paper, I find that I don't want Jack in the Box syndrome where part of it like ends up leaning over. And it's not like it's going to lean over, but what I'm concerned is when I stand my albums vertically that it will start to weigh and then tear. So what I just do is I kind of pull it up just to see if anything gaps or gapes, and if it does, I just add more glue. So I'm hoping that my color shine is dry. It is not fully dry. I really should have waited, but I'm completely impatient. So I didn't wait. So I ended up getting color shine all over my T-square ruler. And I'm trying to just line up this first row, um, because once I get that, I can use the top branding strip to kind of line things up. I'm not super concerned that it be 100% straight. I just want it to be straight enough that it doesn't look weird. Um, so that's my goal. Not super duper wonky, slightly wonky is okay. So I'm trying to decide where I want to start the top of my branding strip photo mat. And I realized at this point I really should not have put the glue on the outside of that tissue mat, because now it's a pain in the butt. I need to make sure I don't accidentally stick it to anything. I will say I'm going to do these top two, and then I'm going to do the first one where I do the split branding strip, and after that I'm going to fast forward to where everything is complete because holy smokes, wow, things are getting a little boring in here, and I apologize. This is one of those layouts because I'm doing the branding strips, there's a lot of repetition going on, and if I took out too much of it, this layout would be, this video would be so super short, I just wouldn't feel the need to actually do a video. So I had to leave in some of the repetitiveness. And see, here is where I didn't bother to use that wood grain. And I noticed another gap, so I'm adding more glue. And you see what I do is I put my hand on the back and I just kind of see if I shake it a little bit, if it'll gape. And if it doesn't, I'm good to go. So one of the really cool things about going to a crop, I'm starting to embellish here, and then I'm going to tell you a little story about a new trick I learned that I was just stunned by. And it's so simple, but it's one of those things you don't think about it until you see someone do it, and then you go, oh my gosh, how have I not thought of this myself? I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I will talk about now how I'm embellishing here. So this is actually the last piece of paper I have left. And in fact, all I have left of the paper is that one piece of paper I didn't end up using, and then two even smaller pieces of paper that I didn't end up using. So I really loved the paper for this line. I have a lot of embellishments left over simply because this is an outdoor winter themed line, and I don't go outdoors in the winter. So it's one of those things where I loved the paper. I used a ton of the paper, but a lot of and I used the word strips and the stickers and stuff that were flowers or pine cones or floral wreaths, and then the word stickers that are snuggle up and warm and cozy and all that. But there's skis and there's ice skates and there's snowshoes and there's, um, words like speed skating and wintertime fun and all that. And I don't do anything outdoors in the winter. I don't do anything outdoors in the summer either, except go to the beach, but that's just, me. And I have to stop buying outdoor winter themed lines, even if I think they're pretty, because I just have no use for the majority of them. All right, now that I've started so I started my embellishing. Now I'm going to start with my title, and then I'm going to do a little bit more embellishing, and then I'm going to finish my title because that's how I roll. I don't do anything just simply, I have to do it complicated. So I start my title with the with the alpha from the Winter Wonderland collection, and then I'm going to remember that I had wanted to use this one particular die cut that says, "You Melt My Heart," and then I'm going to finish my title. So I have this title. I have the brown words in the 4x6 sticker pack of stickers, but unfortunately I don't have the letters, so I am going to go to the Ellie Studio. Now, here's the trick I learned at the crop. I don't know about you, but when I'm using flat stickers like this, I often find that they pop back up. And, so I end up holding them down, and sometimes that doesn't even work. I have to add some liquid glue behind it. Well, anytime I add liquid glue behind a flat sticker, I always sometimes end up putting a little partial fingerprint in it. And it's not like I'm going to assume I'm going to get arrested by leaving my partial fingerprint behind, but it's just annoying. My friend Kim happened to be working on some Project Life, and I was over chatting with her along with 4 other people, and she pulls out a small brayer and starts brayering her flat alpha stickers onto her Project Life card. And all 5 of us are just chatting and all like this, and all of a sudden it goes silent because we are all amazed by her just geniusness of using this brayer to keep the flat stickers down. And it is amazing. They were down the next day. And if you stay to the end with the photos, I took the photo for this thing actually today, so 2 days after I did the layout, and you'll see that sticker is completely flat. So Kim, you're a genius and you're awesome, and even if it did embarrass the crud out of you once we were so happy, we really appreciate And these are the types of things you get to learn when you go to crafts, and it's super awesome. All right, folks, I am finishing off my layout with some journaling, just talking about cuddling with my kitty on Christmas Day. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget to head on over to Kelly's channel and check out her video. And as always, I appreciate everyone who watches here. And if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Thanks, everyone. Bye.